Well, good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to this evening, our Celebration of Lights Awards and Appreciation Night for the 2022 season. We're so grateful that all of you could join us on this beautiful night. And did we get a program for these fine folks? Kyle, do you still have programs there? We'll get some programs for Dave and Alyssa. Right on. Thank you so much. Tina's doing Kyle's job. That's awesome. Thank you, Tina. So I want to start off by thanking Alex, the owner of this fine facility, because we only came to him about a week ago and said, hey, do you happen to have Monday the 19th available for us to do this event? And he says, yeah, actually we do. And he was happy to help us out. So I want to show our appreciation to the good people here at Big Fish. Well, we have a lot of awards to give out tonight, and it's our pleasure to do so because we recognize that it really takes the entire community to come together to make this happen. We do have a board of directors, and on our board of directors, we have, and I'll ask them to stand up just for a moment, we have John Charest, we have Paul Babcock, we have Jen Johnson, okay. There's myself, Dean Holtz, but we also have not present our Ace Concordia. We have Matthew Mullen, and we have Jordan Johnson, I think still in Hamilton. Yeah, Jordan's been working remotely for us out of Hamilton, so she's been doing a great job. So thank you to our board of directors and everyone who helps out with that. Well, it's been a big year for us because we're able to be back, and it's been exciting on the heels of everything COVID that we could get back to normal life, isn't it? Isn't that a good thing? Yeah. And I think that's representative of what we saw with the opening ceremonies. We put them on for the first time since 2019. And we had record numbers. We didn't ticket this event, so we didn't actually count, but my guess, by just looking at the crowd, I think there was over 4,000 people there, the biggest crowd we've ever seen. A lot of people don't realize, if they've never been to our opening ceremonies, how great of an event it is. It's really aimed at families, and we really endeavor to try to make it a free event so that people can just come and enjoy. And a lot of people see it as the kickoff to their Christmas season. We put up 36 displays this year, and they all look fantastic. We, over the last many years, have transitioned to LED lights or RGB, which is a form of LED, very low power consumption, which is great. And they look great as well. There's only a few displays that didn't go up this year, which were Gift Box Bear, Lighthouse, School of Fish, and Postcard. Also, we have this DJ dance floor that we hope to have put up again next year. And we have the Village of Houses. A lot of the kids like that. They can go in and out of those. So we're looking forward to having those all up again this year. But the cool thing is that all the displays got sponsored this year. And that's one of the ways that we generate our revenue to be able to do everything that we do, including this event, the opening ceremonies primarily, is through the sponsorship of the displays. So on your program, you're going to see not only the agenda for this evening, you're going to see a list of every business, organization, family, and individual who we recognize as a sponsor. And so if you add that up, that's at least 99 sponsors from our community, which we think is amazing. We also started a few years ago because of COVID, but we thought we'd continue this, is we'd do a video walkthrough of the lights. We've done this with John and I. Jordan did it with John last year. I did it with him again this year. Because John Charest knows the most about the displays. He's been involved with the Celebration of Lights since the beginning. When it comes to the history and the knowledge of the displays, he's the man. He knows all about it. So we always got to have someone with John. And so we went through and we did a live stream with David, who's doing our video for us right now, and walked through the displays and learned about the history. We talked about all the sponsors. So everyone who sponsored the display, not only did you get that nice green tree right in front of it, which this year we added floodlights for them, so you definitely see those signs, but we also mentioned all of those sponsors when we did the video walkthrough. And we did two videos, actually, on the same night, mind you, because first we did one with Kojiko, which, so you know, if you're a Kojiko subscriber, It's going to air tomorrow night for the first time at 9:30 p.m. So let everyone know, especially if they have Kojiko, that they can see that, and they did their own video and their own production, and that's great as well. Well, I don't want to take any more time on that. The reality is, with over 40,000 lights, we endeavor to brighten up this community at this time of year, which is something I think everybody appreciates. And so we have a number of awards to give out and to honor people. And we're going to start with a few remarks. We asked a few of our servant leaders in our community, and these are people who spend time in caring for our community and being involved in our community. Regrettably, Mayor Mike was unavailable. I did ask him, but he had other commitments, and we understand it's a busy time of year. But we do have also tonight, I want to call up the Honorable MPP Bob Bailey to say a few words to us this evening.
Well, thanks, Dean. I appreciate that, and thank you very much for all the work that the Celebration of Lights do every year. I think we started taking our kids when they were young, back in probably 1984. They weren't very old then, but we took them, and now they're taking their friends and everything. And so I just want to applaud the great work that the Celebration of Lights and, of course, Dean and his committee have done, and ask you to keep on that kind of good work. I'm going to be reporting back to the Ministry of Tourism. He's brand new, so I'm going to try and get him down here. I don't know whether I'll get him down here this year, but I'll certainly try and get him down next year, and maybe we can even get some money out of him if I work hard. Anyway, thanks again, Dean. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and keep up the good work, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thanks, Bob. And also, we have the honor of having the Honorable MP, Marilyn Gladue, here, and I'd like to invite her to come and say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dean. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I have such great memories of the Celebration of Lights. You know, I arrived in Sarnia the same year that this got going, 1984. And when my kids were small, we had the pleasure of wrapping them up in their snowsuits and walking along the trails and going for hot chocolate. And so, you know, you have provided such joy to our community. And I want to thank your organizing team. I want to thank all the volunteers that get involved and everyone who's sponsored and supported. This is truly a celebration of lights, light, and I think that gives people hope. And I just want to say one other funny thing, which was that, John, you freaked out Bob Bailey tonight. He looked and he went, "Oh, Jean Charest is going to present awards." I said, no, it's John. But anyway, thank you guys again. Wonderful to be here, and let's just celebrate.
Thank you, Marilyn. Really appreciate that. Well, without any further ado, we're going to get to our first award, and John Charest, not Jean Charest, John Charest is going to present the Diane Evans Award. Now, John, why don't you tell us a little bit about who Diane Evans was?
Diane Evans was a volunteer we had back in the days before we had the new displays come to the park in 2000. So she was a hard-working volunteer, always there in the park all the time, and always gave herself to help out. And unfortunately, she passed away. I don't know what year it was, but we honored her by giving out an award each year for hardworking people that do like what I do in the park, putting up all those displays each and every year. So So this year, we'd like to award the 2022 Diane Evans Award, two of them, there's two of them, to Kathy Markinkowski and Paula Taylor. Kathy and Paula, they come out each year to help set up the displays, run all the extension cords, check all the frames, check old tape, light bulbs, everything. So with my job is the grounds keeper for all the displays. I have Kathy and Paula helping me. They also, too, this year they helped restring the Neptune's castle that wasn't in the park the last 2 years. So thank you to them for their hard work this year. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're not going to let John sit down because he's actually going to present the next award, which is for the Outstanding Volunteer Award.
This year we decided to give 2 awards out for outstanding volunteer. There are 2 people that have joined myself and Paula and Kathy for their hard work and dedication to keeping the lights up and running, setting them up each year. And even the other night, I saw one of them walking through the park, checking all the backstays to make sure caution tape was still on them so nobody would trip on the steel poles. So this year, we decided to give for the Outstanding Volunteer Award to Leslie Caldwaller and Leanne Reynard. I don't think they're here tonight, but we'll make sure they get the awards.
Great, thanks, John. And just so you know, we have so many people that volunteer and help. On our community setup day, which was November 14th, I believe, something in that, no, it wasn't the 14th, whatever date it was, it would have been the 18th, I think. Anyways, we had 108 people come out, which is, and I asked online, I said, I need an army of people, and an army came. A lot of students, about 70% of those were students. And so we're happy to sign for their hours and help them out with that, and they give their time. But these 4 ladies that we just honored, they don't give time in matter of hours. They give time in matter of days, maybe even weeks. So this is why we wanted to honor them. Okay, next, I'd like to call up Jen Johnson and Kyle Bruner. They're going to present the Harvey McMichael Award, but just before they do that, they're going to explain what this award is about and the backstory to it. And the ladies and gentlemen just came in. Did you get a program yet? No. Okay, we'll get you a program. This is Jen Johnson.
So any of you that grew up in Sarnia, you know, in the 80s, you drive around, find yourself on Oak Street waiting in line to go see the house that had the Santa Claus on the roof and the nativity scene in the driveway and all the beautiful lights. And that was the Harvey McMichael house. So that started the lights in Sarnia. And for me, that was a huge part of what Christmas was about. So recently we decided that our home lighting competition should have a community aspect where everyone got to vote for the house they loved the best. We named it after Harvey because he brought us the joy of it. And his family actually still helps do a lot of stuff here. Janice is his granddaughter, and she's with Blue Water Power, who is one of our big sponsors. So this year, the Harvey McMichael Award goes to 440 St. Lawrence. I don't know if you guys have driven by that house. It's got the talking trees when you turn the radio on, and everything goes to music, and it's pretty cool. So they're not here today, but we'll drop it off to them, and it'll be on our website too that they've won.
Great. Thank you, Jen and Kyle. It really is a heartwarming story as to the inception of what we do here. And I don't know about you guys, but we had the family tradition of going for a drive and looking at lights, and you had to go by Oak Street. I mean, you know that one movie, and I forget the name of it, where the house was lit up so bright that you could see it in outer space, sort of thing. Well, that's what you felt Harvey's house was like, because there was no other house like it. And Jen was the one who had this idea, and we're like, that's an amazing idea. We've got to honor in this way, and that's why we do that. Well, next I want to call up one of our other board members, Mr. Paul Babcock Jr., and he's going to be presenting the Outstanding Business Contributor Award. Was that? I'm doing the talking, he says. Okay. So we want to recognize a lot of businesses that help out in so many great ways, and represented in this room. But each year we like to honor and pick one that we feel went a little over and above. And so this year, who is it, Paul?
Imperial Oil.
Imperial Oil. Christina, come on up. Yeah, turn around that way so we can, yeah. Gonna get a picture? Yeah. Now, with Imperial Oil, what was interesting with this situation is, well, I'm part of a business network luncheon group, and one of the ladies there said, you know, I was talking to one of my contacts at Imperial Oil and said, you know, we still have some donation money for the community to give out, and people haven't come to us for it yet. And I said, give me her name. I want to know who this person is. So I contacted Christina, and right away it was like, yeah, we want to help out. But they didn't just donate a good chunk of money to us. What they also did was they partnered with Blackwater Cafe, who provided all the hot drinks for free. Between the two of them, hot chocolate, hot apple cider, and then their specialty blend called Imperial Octane, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that was all provided. There's a huge lineup at the opening ceremonies. Everybody wanted these hot drinks. I think they ran out of some of them, and they did a great job. And Christina was there with them serving the coffee that night. So that's the kind of thing we like to see. That's the kind of community spirit we like to see. All right. So next, we're going to honor other outstanding contributors. We have 4 awards, and we decided this year as a board that we would actually make different categories. I'm going to award these, if that's okay. What we did was we looked at businesses and groups that, whether it was an actual monetary donation or gift in kind, because we have a number of sponsors that help us by doing things for us without charging or giving us a nice discount either way. And we appreciate that tremendously because it all pulls together to help us do what we do. So we kind of made categories, and the first category, the bronze category, is the $2,000 to $2,999 dollar value, gift in kind, if you will. And that one is awarded to, sorry, I'm trying to handle a mic and open this up, to the Village of Point Edward. All right, great. All right. Yeah, well, thank you so much. And you know what? It just goes to show the community spirit that even though, you know, the Village of Point Edward is its own little municipality, but they're our brothers and sisters, and they're right next door, and we love to do things with them. And so it's just great that you partner in that way.
But we're part of the community.
And you're part of the community, just as much part of the community. Got that. That's awesome. Okay, the next one is what we call the silver, the $3,000 to $3,999. And that we felt was deserving this year of Sterling Crane. I don't know if anyone from Sterling Crane is here. I'm not seeing anyone get up, so I'm gonna guess not. What Sterling Crane does for us is they bring their crane to lift our really large displays. So the Candle Arch, our most iconic display, Neptune's Castle, which has returned after 3 years, just got restored, looks gorgeous. And they're just too large and heavy, really, to safely do with manpower, so they come and they lift that for us, both setting up and tearing down. And that's just an amazing thing that they do for us, so we appreciate that. Thank you, Sterling Crane. Okay, for our gold sponsor, this is a value between $4,000 and $49.99. Sir, if you will, who has been helping us for a very long time. And the reality is we couldn't do what we do without the help of this organization. Well, it's to call it an organization is a little odd. It's the city of Sarnia. That's you, Rachel. I'm going to have you come up and have you come over on this side. So there you go. You're welcome. This is Rachel Vayu. She's our main contact of the city. Let me just say she's so easy to work with. She's so helpful. It's not like what you sometimes think of, maybe people working in government that they're maybe not as friendly. She is super friendly, very helpful in all things, and excited to help us do what we do. And the city, what do they do? Well, they do the road closures for us, and all the things that like even using the park and the Agora stage for the opening ceremonies. Normally there'd be fees. They have graciously waived those fees so we can offer this to the community, and it is so appreciated. So thank you, Rachel, and thank you to the city of Sarnia. Yeah. Thank you. And our last outstanding contributor award. This is in a value of we just put at 5,000 plus, and this is a company that helps out in a critical way, similar to Sterling Crane. There is a local company now; they've renamed themselves, but they provide an important tool for us. And John really appreciates this. It's the GLG, which is a lift. He uses that with the candle arch that goes up and many other things that need to be done around the park. Which allows a safe way to put things up and take them down. And they leave that available for us the whole season, which is just amazing because, to rent one of those things is not cheap. And so we're very appreciative. That company is called Illumis Safeway. I don't know if we have a representative here tonight, but we're so grateful to Illumis Safeway for providing that for us each and every year. So thank you. Now, I just want to take a couple of quick moments as just a break from the awards. I want to quickly go through. You have in your programs a pretty long list of sponsors, and as I said, we're at about 99, which is just amazing. But I'm just going to touch on now. You can see the displays that they've sponsored, but when we look at the actual sponsors, we've already mentioned the Village of Point Edward and Pure Oil. Blue Water Power Distribution, they not only provide our prizes for the lighting competition, which we're going to see shortly, but they also provide manpower to do work, to help set things up. So they're extremely helpful in many ways. HC Stark, they donated a good amount of money to us. They also they're the ones that put up that light tunnel. Everyone loves the light tunnel, and we had like at least one, anyways, that Teresa caught with photos. A proposal. Actually, the lady got down on one knee and proposed to the guy. It was awesome, and we have pictures of that. And so HC Stark, they take care of that whole display. They store it. They set it up. They take it down. Really appreciate them. Rob and Lou Longo, they stepped up to donate a healthy amount towards the opening ceremonies. They see the value in that event. Cope Construction did the same thing. Remax Realty Sarnia Incorporated also donated towards the opening ceremonies a really nice amount, and they also put up a tent that we could use, and they had some agents there to just help with doing stuff at the opening ceremony. So really appreciate that, like Sarah Guzik and Lori Lauren were there, and Lori's husband. So just great to see that community spirit. The Loyal Order of Moose also donated a good amount. Kinsman Club of Sarnia, they donate, every year they donate a lot to us. Obviously, they love Christmas too. And but not only that, they provided a 10 by 20 tent for us, which is where Santa had his photos taken with the kids and families for the opening ceremonies. So they do great things like that for us. We appreciate them so much. Blue Water Optimist Club donated. Seaway Kiwanis, Sarnia Lambton donated as well. SNC Lavalin, came on board as a sponsor last year, and they donated. Kathy Blake. Kathy used to serve on our board. She was the chairwoman of the board there for a few years, did a great job. She's been involved many years. She's amazing. She donated just as a personal donation. It's not just businesses. It's not just organizations, but it's families and individuals that come together as well. Dennis Robinson, he did our horse and wagon rides at the opening ceremonies. He donated. Now, in your program, it says Leanne Raynert's mom, because at the time I sent this off, I didn't have her first name. Her first name is Diane. So Diane Raynert, she donated some money. We also have Babcock Marine and Shoreline Services, which is Paul's business. They actually do a ton. He provides the barge. So when we do the fireworks at the opening ceremonies, the only other community event with fireworks after Canada Day, he actually has the barge where the fireworks are shot off from. He actually does it for Canada Day too, but he does that for us, which is a huge help. He made all these carts that we put the display pieces on, these metal carts with casters on them, so it's made our time in setup and teardown way more efficient. And he made that with his shop. Really appreciate that. Of course, we mentioned Loomis Safeway, who we awarded. City of Sarnia. Sound Events, that's a production company for the band. Those people who attended, and some of you here may have, we had a band put together that I put together, and we had a lot of fun putting on a Christmas Carol concert for you. And this is a company out of London. They're not even, what we really call local, and they gave us a huge discount. Like $3,000 off their regular price. So just really appreciate that spirit. And they were so great to work with. I've already asked them to come back for next year. We've mentioned Sterling Crane. My business, Dean Holtz Photography, I felt, you know what? We need a new promo video for Celebration of Lights. So I had videographers out there. I hope to have that ready by Christmas. We'll put it on Facebook and YouTube, and you can enjoy that. But wanted to share those stories. We mentioned the Village of Point Edward, ProMart Industrial Coatings. Remind me again, John, what they do. Okay, so for those who couldn't hear, they sandblasted Neptune's Castle display because they're metal frames. They have to be sandblasted and then professionally repainted, and so they did that for us. Red Chair, Matthew Mullen, who's one of our board of directors, he does our website for us, does a great job. And then Paul and Tracy Babcock, again, just the generosity of this family, they host the monthly meetings for our board of directors at their home and provide dinner, which is amazing. So just appreciate Paul and Tracy. They're great community people. They're really involved with the Loyal Order of Moose. So they just give to the community, and that's amazing. We have TLC Photography, Teresa Chalmers, who's here with us tonight. She's done all our photography. She comes out to the displays to the park. So we have a day where we just bring the displays to the park and set them. We have another day, the community setup day. So she's there for both those events. Then she's there for the opening ceremonies, working her tail off, and then she goes back and she takes pictures of all the displays, plus all the houses that are in the lighting competition. And she's here tonight taking pictures, and she's going to come back for teardown. That is commitment. Teresa Chalmers of TLC Photography. I love it. Tourism Sarnia Lambton. They sponsored a display, which is listed in your program. Also, they have paid for some advertising for us between Toronto and Windsor so that other communities, so we talk about tourism and bringing it here. Yes, because there are people who come from outside of the Sarnia Lambton area to see this light display because it's great. It's beautiful, and it's got a beautiful location on the waterfront. And so they've helped out with that, which is amazing. Blackburn Radio, they help us. We do some radio advertising, but then they give us a number of ad spots on their radio programming for free. So that's really appreciated. WMA Promotions. This is Wayne Archer, who served on our board previously. We got toques made up. So these toques right here. It fell down. These toques right here, which we sold, and they've got our logo stitched in them, which we sold at the opening ceremonies. And what I'm going to do is, we've decided as a board, we're going to make these toques on pre-order after the event is done, as well as these hoodies. Same thing from WMA Promotions. They are available if you want to pre-order from us. We can do that tonight for you. The toques are $10, and the hoodies are $45. Okay, and we do have one one regular sweatshirt with the logo that was screen printed available. And that one we'll let go for a donation. That's the last one like that for just $30 tonight. But WMA Promotions did a great job. Kojako, I mentioned they did the video walkthrough with us that's going to air tomorrow night, 9:30. They did that free of charge. They also gave out 1,000 bags of popcorn at the opening ceremonies. They ran out before the event was done. They ran out within an hour. And the event, like the show was an hour, but then there was fireworks and everything. And then there was people going through horse carriage rides, looking at the lights. They were long gone, burned through that because, well, who doesn't like popcorn? So thank you, Kojako. Capes Movers. You know what? You want to talk about stepping in at the last minute. So here I am at 4:40 Friday night, the night before opening ceremonies. And I wanted to get something to put on the floor of the stage for the band because the interior of the stage is all hard surface. So it's kind of a lot of reverb in there. And so if we can put something on the floor, it helps. And I'm like, oh, what can I get? You know, maybe I can find somewhere I can get some mats. So I went to Sackwell Floors. I'm like, do you have mats? I'm like, yeah, no, we don't really have that. And I'm trying to think of, wait a minute, movers. They have moving mats. Maybe that. So I call up Mo. This is like 20 minutes before they're done working for the week. And I'm like, Mo, is there any way you can help me out? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, see, that's what this community is about. So I met his son, Craig, at the shop, and he said, take a look at the mats, make sure you're happy. I'm like, these are perfect. Mo himself delivered them on a Saturday morning with only being asked the night before and brought them. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's just amazing. I love that kind of community spirit. Lakeshore Community Church, they've been the place where the band has practiced. So I put together a band, but we're not a band that plays all year round. I just get this group of musicians together for that event. So we have 3 full band rehearsals for that event, and Lakeshore Community Church lets us use their auditorium, their sound system, provide a sound person, which is really helpful. And they've been doing that for years, and so we really appreciate that. And they don't charge for it, obviously, and that's a huge help as well. So Lakeshore Community Church. Blue Water Industrial Coatings, they do the coating, the painting for the displays, and they've helped out with that with generous discounts. Blackwater Cafe, we have Alyssa and Dave here. Again, they're the ones that provided the complimentary hot drinks in combination with Imperial Oil. Really appreciate, great family spirit. They also sponsored the display. I love it. Imperial Oil, we mentioned them. Sure Signs, another last minute sponsor. Mark, my buddy at the back. So he contacts me, he says, hey, we've got these displays, and it's Santa and Rudolph from the movie, right? And then you also have the Frosty from the movie. And he's like, well, we were going to put these on the top of our building, but we decided not to. Can you use them? So I direct him to the man about displays, which is John. And he's like, yeah, we can use them. So they made arrangements. They delivered them. We set them up. We put spotlights on them. They look amazing. People love them. That's the kind of community spirit I like out of Sure Signs right there. Sarnia Police Services. So when Santa comes to the opening ceremonies, he doesn't just come by himself. He gets lovingly escorted by our finest. And so we want to appreciate that they come and do that and help him out. Also, First Student Bus Services. When Alexander Mackenzie Secondary School, they send a bunch of kids and staff usually the Wednesday before our community setup day, and they do a lot of initial setup. Well, we needed busing, and usually we have the city to do it because everything was last minute this year, or a lot of things were. There was no way to organize that with the city. So what we were able to do was to get First Student Bus Services, and they did that free of charge. They bus the kids there and they bus them back, which we really appreciate. So thank you for Student Bus Services. We have, of course, we've already honored Kathy Markinkowski, Leanne Rayner, Leslie Cadwallader, Paul Belanger, who's here tonight. I think I saw Paul. He's back. Where are you, Paul? Need a hand up. Woo, there he is. Okay. Paul really stepped up this year and has been helping these 4 ladies, and he has an understanding of some of the electronics that we have, like with the RGB lighting displays. And he's been out many times, going out afterwards, checking stuff. Really appreciate those individuals. United Rentals. Okay, the band not only needed mats on the floor, but they need heat. because we're doing a concert outside, and that's not friendly, the cold weather, especially to the guitarist. In fact, my guitarist said no heat, no guitar, so I have to get heat for them. And United Rentals is amazing. They provide these industrial heaters to the point where we don't even need jackets when we're in there, so it's amazing. So thank you so much to United Rentals. Hughes Intelligent Security, they stepped up. Was it 2 years ago, Paul? Yeah, Paul's buddies with and we have them right here. Right here. They provide round-the-clock security for us from when we get the displays to the park to when we leave them. It's almost 2 months of 24/7 security. That's commitment. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Hughes. Another coating company, CNC Coatings, that have helped out with some of our displays. Yep, and doing powder coating. Electric Cut. We've got him here tonight, Mr. Mitch Mustandic. He's extremely helpful coming out with our setup and our teardown, but he's the one that made the Canada flag. You ever seen the Canada flag display when you go out there and it's all lit up and it flashes and everything? He's the one who made it. He sets it up, but he also goes way over and above. Him and his dad come out with setup and teardown. Thank you so much to Mitch and his dad and Electric Cut. We have Liggett Signs, and I think we've got some representatives here tonight. I see Bill and I see Roxanne. Liggett, they help us out with the plaques, with the green signs that you see at all the displays, with the lawn ornament signs for the lighting competition winners. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to do things last minute, which really stresses them out, but they still do it anyways, which we really appreciate. So thank you to Roxanne and Bill at Liggett Signs for the way you help us out. As I mentioned, Alexander Mackenzie Secondary School, they bring an army of kids and students to help us out. Sandrin Services, that's where we store everything. They're right around the corner, which is super convenient. We have all our sea cans there, and they let us do that, at least for now, free of charge, which is just amazing. This year we had something new. We didn't just have Santa Claus, but we had Mrs. Claus, Sarnia Mrs. Sandra Claus, who's with us tonight at the back. And she graced us with her presence at the opening ceremonies, having fun with the families. And she has a business now, a service of doing that, and she wanted to provide it free for the celebration lights, which we really appreciate. Central Sanitation. One of the workers there contacted me and said, we'd love to help out. So all the portable washrooms that were at the opening ceremonies, I think we had 8, something like 8. We had 5 right at the stage and then 3 at the other end of the park, and they provide that free of charge. And they came to us and said, we want to help out in this way, which is just amazing. Yes. We've already mentioned Blue Water Power Distribution. They do amazing stuff, go over and above, beyond. Ren's Pets, they rented a tent. Brand new business just started up beginning of December, and they rented a tent so they can share with the community. Appreciate that. Global Donuts. So for the community setup day, we had some. Actually, we have here tonight. Maybe she's not. Kathleen Stinson. Did you make it, Kathleen? No. Okay, Kathleen Stinson offered to provide some drinks and beverages and snacks for our volunteers, which is really nice. And but we weren't sure if what she was bringing was quite going to be enough. So Jen on our board, she knows Gus, the owner at Global Donuts, says, hey, can you help us out further? So he says, yeah. So he provided us with even more food, and he did it for half price, which is amazing. But not only that, when I went to pick it up, one of the workers there paid $25 towards the bill, so our bill was $25 less. So, it's just amazing. And then we see here in just a quick list, these are the band members. I mentioned the band. Not only do they have the 3 rehearsals, but they're putting in a lot of personal time at home practicing to get ready for those first rehearsals. And they are, I don't know if any of them made it tonight, outside of myself, but we have Jeanette Burmaster, Gail Ann Vey, Don LeBlanc, Neil Christopher, although his name I have incorrect in your program. It says Neil Armstrong. No, it's not Neil. We didn't get Neil Armstrong. Neil Christopher was playing drums. He's awesome. Ainsley Trott, Joshua Trott, Jensen Charles, Rodney Hamilton, Saya Akinsanya, and Eve Morgan was our MC for the evening. Did a fantastic job. Really appreciate that. And last but not least, Mr. Scott Williams, you may know him on Facebook because he puts together the tours for the Halloween homes that get decorated. Well, he does it for us as well. He offered to do that. So you'll see that, and I think he calls it the Sarnia Lambton 2022 Holiday Lights Tour. Because we had so many entries, about 40 or so, there'll be multiple maps. It won't all be in one map, but he took the time to do that so people can enjoy. They can enjoy that family tradition of going around and seeing the lights together. Well, that's a quick synopsis of everybody who helps us out. Really appreciate that. At this time, though, I'd like to call up Tracy Babcock, and she's going to award the Ted Arnold Award. Ted Arnold was a wonderful human being. He was the chairman of the board, I don't know for how many years, but for a number of years. He was when I got involved with the Celebration of Lights about 15 years ago. And unfortunately, tragically, he ceased to be with us. And we wanted to honor in loving memory of him and all his work and his passion for this community and the Celebration of Lights. Because up to this point, there was never a recognition of a board member who went over and above and beyond. And so Tracy's going to award the Ted Arnold Award. We don't know who's won that. We vote amongst ourselves.
So congratulations goes to John Charette.
John Charette! All right, we'll look this way and get the picture because Teresa's right there. Thanks, Tracy.
So this year, many of you in the past years didn't see Neptune's Castle. It was missing. Our displays are 22 years old, and they do require to be refurbished and restored. So this year, in the past years, we took Neptune's Castle out of the picture, got it restored. Now, with the help of Paula and Kathy and Leanne and Leslie, and we had Paul to help us this year too. We took the display and got it all restored using Blue Water Industrial Coatings for powder coating, ProMart for sandblasting, and then we have to buy all the materials required. So we had to use 3,000 feet of socket wire for that display, 90 rolls of white electrical tape, and then put all the bulbs back in, and then we enhanced the lighting this year with iceberg blue lights, quick changing light bulbs, as you can see what it looks like in the park. So we have to now look at another display to do this year because we got to keep the displays up and going, up and running. If we don't, well, they'll fall apart. But thank you very much for the display you see in the park this year. I'm glad it's back in the park.
Thanks, John. John truly does go way over and above beyond. He actually takes vacation time and uses it to give to this organization, so that's amazing. At this time, I'd like to call up Jen Johnson and Kyle Bruner again, and we're going to turn our attention away from the sponsors and now to the lighting competition. So not everyone realizes, but the Celebration of Lights not only puts up the display on the waterfront, but we also take care of the lighting competition. And Sarnia loves to light itself up. I was explaining to Marilyn Gladue a few minutes ago that my wife and I were in Huntsville last year, and we decided, it was in December, and we were in this store called Christmas Time, sells Christmas stuff all year round, and right inside the door there was a little stand, and it had a map with their lighting competition entries on it. So we decided to go for a drive and take a look at their lights, and their best wouldn't even make top 20 for Sarnia, my friends. Yeah. Yeah, we like to light up here. I mean, mind you, we don't get the snow that they get, but nonetheless, Sarnia loves their lights. So Jen and Kyle are going to award these for you.
So we do the Harvey McMichael Award, which we've already done. Blue Water Power is a huge sponsor, and they do the prizes for first, second, and third in the city. So for third place, with $100 is 440 St. Lawrence. So they're the same as the Harvey McMichael. So second place is 73 Turner. I don't know. And if you've been out, you've seen they have a Grinch and they're collecting toys for the Children's Aid. So it's a pretty fun house to visit. And then first place is 177 Christina Street. Okay, so we have done this judging for longer than I've been around here. And I always thought it was really nice. And then we added the Harvey McMichael Award because it brought a bit of the community into the voting. And then we thought, you know what? My kids loved the lights, but we always argued over which one was the best. So we're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick out some kids and we're going to do Children's Choice. And they are completely different than what any of the other judging is. So it's always been kind of fun to see that. So this year we used the Averill kids and some of their friends. Do you guys want to come up? So they were Santa's helpers going around judging all the lights, and they've done it 2 years now, and they've been awesome. So some of their favorite stuff was pointed out, the Grinch. They loved, one of the houses had a gnome in its bushes, and it was pretty cool. What was your favorite thing at one? The gnome tree?
Probably the lights that like changed with the song.
Yes, those are always fun. Do you have a favorite?
I like every hill.
See, he's after my own heart. He said he likes every house. So this year we did something a little bit different. We had two super close, 1 point difference. So we did a runner-up. So for the Children's Choice runner-up, we have 280 Laurentian. So here's this. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. This is your gift. Okay. And the Children's Choice winner this year was 75 Ashby. So I don't know if you've all gone around and looked at the lights, but 75 Ashby is classic white lights, green garland, you know, the red bows. So it just really surprised me that that's the one that came out the best. So thank you to our judges and thanks to everybody that's helped make it happen.
Well, thank you, Jen and Kyle. Yeah, it's good to honor those people who who go over and above with the lighting competition. And yeah, by all means, take a travel around. In fact, you don't have to go far in this city. You're going to see lots of lights. I don't know about you, and some of us were talking about it earlier, but it seems like there's even more lights up this year, doesn't it? And people are really getting into it, which is great. The last award that we want to look at is called the Chairman's Award. And so that's whoever is the current chairman of the board, which is yours truly, and takes a look at, whether it's an individual, family, organization, or business that the chairman feels has gone over and above. And this year, I felt that, let's make sure I got the right one. I'm going to open up. Yes, there we go. The winner of this award is one that has really helped out for a long time. Oh, who's that? Look at that. Santa. All right. That's awesome. Santa's joining us tonight. All right. This is Sarnia's Santa. This is the Santa that's in the Santa Claus parade. He's the Santa that's at the opening ceremonies. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by tonight, Santa. Well, as I was mentioning, this award goes to a deserving organization because they've been so helpful, and they weren't just really helpful this year, but they've been helpful for the last 7 years. And so I kind of felt that this was long overdue. It's Lakeshore Community Church because, again, they allow the band to practice there. And let me tell you, if you were to go to a place like, say, the Imperial Theater and rent that place out with a sound tech for all the rehearsals that we've used there, it would have cost thousands of dollars, and they've done that graciously free of charge. So I believe Mike is here to represent Lakeshore Community Church. Mike here is one of the pastors at... Mike is, come over here, Mike. He's one of the pastors there that serves at Lakeshore Community Church. He's a real community person, gives of his time, him and his wife, Ruth, both. And so I want to award that to you on behalf of the church. Thank you so much. We're just going to get a picture here. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah. All right, well, we're coming to the close of our time, and then we can start making use of this delicious food that Big Fish has prepared for us. I just want to say in closing that this is a community affair. This does not happen because of the board. We simply facilitate and provide leadership. It happens because of everybody represented in this room, and way more than that. Like I said, with 99 sponsors, over 100 people coming out to the community setup day, it's hundreds and thousands of people that are involved to make this happen. And it really blesses our heart to see the community behind this. But sometimes we don't understand the value that this has for people. And there was a very heartwarming story that was shared with us on our Facebook page by a lady by the name of Allie Lennox. And I've asked her to come tonight. And Allie, if you want to come up now to share your story of what this means to your family.
Thank you. So I'm going to try not to get teary. Thanks. My mom, she was a law unto herself. She actually worked for Remax for many years in Brampton, and we lived in Nova. This one was born in Nova Scotia, and when we decided to come back to Ontario, my mom's sister lived here in Sarnia. This was 10 years ago, and we were either moving to Bracebridge or Sarnia. So I chose Sarnia because it had the lowest bed bug rating on the internet.
That's all I've heard my whole life growing up.
Pretty much. Well, it didn't take my mom long to leave. Well, it took her only 5 years to leave Nova Scotia and then move to Sarnia. And with her real estate ways, she literally drove by a house over on Cobden. That very afternoon, she called the agent and said, I'm buying it. Tell them, cash up front, no closing, yada, yada. She got the house. She should have been a dictator of a small country somewhere. She was, like I say, she's travel and family. That was her life. We lost her on December 7th. And that was, she said she would not see the inside of a nursing home. She didn't. But every year, it was the lights. Santas and the lights. The house was always many Santas. When we first moved here, we came to the lights. So for us, the celebration of lights is really lights and life and family. And thank you very much. Sorry. Just one more quick thing. Whoever took photos of us dancing for my mom, jiving away to the band, thank you. Thank you so much, because we have some cherished memories. It was the last outing for my mom at the lights.
Thank you so much, Allie. And the reason I wanted her to share is because the truth is they're not just lights. They mean much more to many people. And what she shared was, and there were pictures that they took with her mom at the opening ceremonies. She got to go to one more opening ceremonies and loved it. So thank you, all of you, for how you help make this happen. And so on behalf of the board of directors and the Celebration of Lights, we want to express our gratitude for all that you do in our community, not the least of which is through our organization. And I would like you to stand now, and I'd like to propose a toast. Most of you have a drink, I think, or whatever you have left of it. And I'll grab mine. A toast to the greatest community in Canada, Sarnia, Ontario, and the Celebration of Lights, because this community comes together in spades. You guys are amazing. Cheers. And on that note, let's end our time with a great song that we love to enjoy. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Enjoy the food and the drink, and thank you again, and have a Merry Christmas.